This Business Newsmakers is brought to you by Hudson Valley Federal Credit Union. There's a reason people live here. There's a reason people bank here.
Hi everyone, Frank DeRaffele here, and welcome to this week's Business Newsmakers. I'm here today with Jim Jeffries, who's the founder and president of Northeast Computer Services Corp., a company that really helps small businesses keep their IT up and running, and we all know how important that is. And Jim, thank you so much for being here today.
Thanks, Frank. I appreciate you having me here, and I'm happy to answer any questions you might have.
Well, good. What I like to start with, give us a little history of you. Did you originally, you have a local business, but did you start around here? Did you grow up around here? And how did you get into the computer business?
Well, first of all, I come from a very large family of 12 brothers and sisters. Yep, and my mom and dad raised us all up in Rhinebeck, New York, Northern Dutchess, as everyone knows. My dad worked for IBM for 35 years. So we had a wonderful family life growing up. Obviously, IBM in that era was very focused on the family, not only on their own growth, but also focused on the family. So the family was very blessed to have that kind of an environment to grow up in.
Wow, that's fantastic. So 12 brothers, do they all live locally still? Or?
No, we're spread out all over the country. People like me to run down through the names, so I have to do it in case they might get on and watch this. So it's Terry, Tommy, Kathy, Ellen, Kevin, Maureen, Debbie, Jimmy, Mary, John, Ann, and Chris. And they're all in the four corners of the United States.
And where do you stand in that hierarchy?
I'm number 8 of 12.
Wow.
Yeah, number 8 of 12. So I'm that middle child syndrome. So if anybody wonders why I'm so active and enjoy being out in the public so much, I think it comes from being in a large family.
The only time middle child really becomes an issue is if I asked them that same question, they went through everybody but didn't say Jim.
It all flows together, that's right.
Everybody. So your father, did that, when you went through school, got out, what was your kind of first love? What was your business? Was it always computers, or how did you get into that?
Well, my first love, of course, is my wife, Wendy, who was my high school sweetheart. But yes, after I got out of college, I went to work for Prudential. Prudential Insurance obviously was one of the premier life insurance and property and casualty agencies out there. And they had a tremendous training program to teach people about how to do cold call sales, something you're familiar with, how to do business contact sales and things. So they really honed the skills I'd already developed in my family to the point where I was very comfortable in the sales and marketing environment. So I was there for many years after college, and we had a very successful agency down here in Poughkeepsie. And then later on, as I had mentioned to you before, I had moved from insurance, which is sort of a natural progression if you look around a lot of the small businesses here in Dutchess County, where they do both insurance and real estate. Mm-hmm. So it was a natural progression. Of course, I loved the real estate side of things because it kept me out in front of the public constantly.
Wow. So you're in real estate, you've come from an insurance background, that's going well for you, and then how does that go over to computer? That doesn't seem like a connection to me there.
People wouldn't think that, but in 1985, right around then, I started developing what we now know as the multiple listing service. Mm-hmm. There really wasn't any. But up till that point, Frank, what had happened was everybody, when you wanted to come into their office and look at properties, they would go to the file cabinet, pull all the files out, right, put them on the desk, and that's the way it would work. Trying to find a 3-bedroom, 2-bath ranch was very difficult. It was time consuming. So I decided, let me write a database program where I would be able to have somebody put in the parameters that they wanted and then bring up all the properties and then just go to the file cabinet and pull them out. Obviously, it was a big success. I didn't begin the multiple listing service, but one thing led to another. Other realtors wanted me to start doing that design work on databases for them, and before you knew it, I was doing it for real estate, and then of course for lawyers, and on it went.
Wow, fantastic.
And then it took off. Yes.
So talk to us about Northeast Computer Services. So now you have this company, and from then to now, how is it different? What do you guys focus on today?
Wow. Well, in 1985, you have to remember a computer system, which back then was 2 floppy drives and a green screen, cost just under $5,000. Which was an enormous amount of money, but people that were doing well in the insurance business who needed to run illustrations for life insurance or for annuities, it was not a big investment for them because the return on the investment was so large. Same thing with lawyers. They saw a real opportunity to be able to do their briefs in a much more timely fashion, and on top of that, of course it did spell checking, very rudimentary, but it did spell checking and things which really sped up the process and made them more productive. So that was sort of the natural fit where we were able to help people people understand not only how they could implement the computers, but then also walk them through the process. And I think that was really how we all began, helping people understand how technology could improve their life and then helping them actually implement it. And we continue to do that today.
So today, what's the most popular thing that you do? I mean, you're out, you have people out kind of working with businesses. What are the main concerns businesses have, and what do you guys focus on?
I think the biggest concern is, again, it always focuses on the same thing, which is productivity. How do they get the employee not only to be satisfied in their job, but also for the business to be able to make money? And the way that happens is somebody likes to be able to start a task, work on the task, and complete the task in a way that makes them feel as though they're helping the company, and the way in which the company feels that the employee is being productive. So if you put those two things together and you work on a variety of software applications, whether they're a productivity suite such as Microsoft Office or a variety of other ones out there that are open sourced, you wind up finding out that with a little bit of training, you'd be surprised at how productive and how smart people can be about taking that technology and merging it together. Matter of fact, we're looking at a place like this where you're gone pure digital. In the old days, remember you had cut-up boards and you had all sorts of storyboards that people had to work on? None of that's there anymore. Everything is now electronic. Not only does it improve the look of the product, but also the time to delivery.
Okay, so in terms of, let's just say your business, the client you're looking for for small businesses. Are you looking for anybody has a single computer, 5 computers or more? What's a good piece of business for you?
Ideally, what we're looking for is that small business owner who has a minimum of 5 computers, but we go up to as many as some of our customers are as large as 240 employees and roughly maybe 200 computers in that environment. We tend to work in what we refer to as the small business field, which is about $1 million in sales up to about $12 or $13 million a year. Okay. What we find out is when you're working in that field, they're too small to be able to afford an IT consulting company. But they're too big not to have one. Right. So, and what happens is if you don't have somebody that you can call on a ready basis to be able to do the work, productivity starts to slip. And when productivity slips, then things like maintenance on the computer slips, and before you know it, you're in a bad situation where your computers and your people aren't functioning as well as they can.
Yeah, there's no question how important technology is today, and the way they're making it is you tend to always have some type of problem going on. So your company and what you do is extremely important to people. So for people that are looking out there, they're interested in a company like yours, how's the best way for them to contact you? Is there a website address, phone number? What would you say?
Sure. You can come to our website, which is at necscorp.com, which stands for Northeast Computer Services Corp.com. Right there we have a whole array of information for people to take a look at. All of the different areas of our expertise, whether it's medical, government, whatever it happens to be. Not only when you get on there, not only can you see those areas, but you can actually drill down and find out more about what it is we can actually do for you.
Okay, is there a good phone number for people to reach you at?
Best number is the company's main number, which is 845-876-3031. Has been the same number since 1985. Wow.
Well, thank you so much for being here. Really appreciate it, because I think this is an important thing for everybody to look at. No matter what size business, everybody needs a computer today, and once you have a computer and more, all of a sudden you need somebody to help fix it. So thank you for what you do, man.
My pleasure. Thanks so much.
Hey guys, thank you so much for being here today. Again, this is Frank DeRaffele here on Business Newsmakers. Take a look at what Jim has at his website and what he has to say about helping small businesses, and we'll look forward to seeing you next week.